Hello everyone, welcome to Sade's Tarot Tea. So today guys, I am so excited. We are finally at my Mars series where I will be talking about how you basically are when you're angry, how you are when you're sexual, and your drives and passions and what moves you in life. And also we will be talking about your weaknesses. Yes, we all have weaknesses, okay? Nobody is immune. And I'll also be talking about our strengths, okay? Because all of the Mars placements have strengths and weaknesses, okay? So we are going to be first starting off with the Mars in water, okay? So that means if you have your Mars in Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, then this is how you are when you get angry. This is how you are when you're sexual. Basically is what the Mars planet talks about in our energy and where it is placed in our birth chart. This is what drives us, of course, like I said, and this is what moves us passionately in the bedroom and how we are and what we go towards in life as far as our goals are concerned. So before I get started talking my stuff, y'all know how I do, okay? Please book a reading. Feel free to book a reading with me. My email is shadestarot@yahoo.com, and I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you, and any returning clients, I welcome you to come back to me as well, okay? So I had to further do some more research on the Mars placements because I really did not want to repeat myself. I didn't want to sound like a broken record, so I've covered a lot with you guys. Oh my gosh, all of these placements in Mars, I will be talking a lot. So I hope you guys don't mind the long videos. Plus, I'm putting all these videos in one because as far as like the elements goes. And I apologize for any noise outside, guys. It's been really loud today. I don't know what's going on. So it's probably this COVID shit making everybody go, even the pets go crazy. Dogs barking, everything. So we're gonna try to ignore it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and start off with talking about Mars in Pisces. So if you don't know, Pisces is water. Oh my god, shock, right? Pisces is the water sign of the zodiac. Basically Pisces energy takes on, they're the 12th zodiac sign. Now there's a reason why Pisces, you guys are last, because you guys are the 12th zodiac sign, the 12th placement, the 12th energy, what the 12th house is all about in astrology, which is ruled by Pisces, represents natural intuition. It's basically how we process our subconscious. What goes on in our subconscious is what the 12th house talks about. And the 12th house is the very last house in the houses of astrology, which is basically, it's all these things that you guys have gone through that accumulates in your life, starting from the first house to the 12th house. So Pisces represents that energy as well as it representing Neptune and Jupiter. Okay, so Neptune represents, as I've talked about before on my channel, Neptune represents psychic intuitiveness, illusions. It could represent being addicted to something, you know, escape, because we're talking about escaping our, you know, reality. Okay, Jupiter also represents overindulgence, which can it can coincide with that overindulging and no boundaries, no limitations to things. So not pulling back on things that can be dangerous for us, right? But it could also be a positive thing. It could talk about how we go for our goals. We don't see, you know, no limitations to what we can accomplish. Now, when Mars is in Pisces, this makes for a very sexually expressive person. Okay, I'm looking at my notes, guys, to, you know, I wrote some notes down. These people tend to be very flirtatious. They like to, like I've talked about Pisces energy before, they like to have multiple partners in their life. They don't like to limit themselves. They don't like commitment. They don't like being held down because, again, Mars talks about sexual expression, okay? So these people are often into very crazy, kinky stuff, okay? Like they like bondage. They like, you know, basically BDSM. They like to be self-sacrificed in the bedroom, so to speak. You know, they like to feel like they're giving into their partner. They like overly domineering, overly, like I said, overly domineering partners, especially in the bedroom and life. These people need to be careful because they can tend to get bullied, or they can tend to get pushed around, and this can result in the Pisces becoming angry. So like I said, we'll jump into the anger part of, this is going to be split into two: sexualness and anger. So sexuality and anger, excuse me. So yeah, these people, Mars and Pisceans, are very goofy. They're romantic. They're very big they love romanticism. They like anything that has to do with like, fairy tales. So these are the people that probably would want to go on a date at Disneyland, or, would like to be taken out somewhere where it's like far away. They like to travel. So, if that turns them on, that turns them on, because this is what turns us on, right? These people are very compassionate too. These people love to be with very compassionate people. Now, oftentimes, is that what they attract? No, it's not what they attract. So these people that have this energy, Mars and Pisceans, tend to not see things for what it is. And in the bedroom, I'd even go as far as to say, I just got an image of like a Mars and Piscean having fun with their partner, and they taken it way too far. And like, I don't know if you guys have seen that video going around with Summer Walker, where her guy is like choking London on the track. He's like choking her. And I don't remember what Summer Walker's Mars was in. I'll post it below. But this is kind of reminding me of something a Mars and Piscean would do. Like, they would like these like very raunchy things, but can quickly get out of hand, can quickly become aggressive, can quickly make us be like, okay, like that was borderline abusive, or that was abusive, and they not seeing it for what it was. You know what I mean? They're making excuses basically for their partner being abusive. Oftentimes these people can create illusions around their person. They can, again, not see the red flags, blind themselves, be naive to things. Some Mars and Pisceans tend to be very naive, and their friends at times have to tell them, hey, if what you just told me, that seems to be hot, your partner is really abusive, your partner is overly being assertive when your partner doesn't need to be. But they find this very hot. They find it really hot. They love it. Now, these people are hard to pin down. Mars and Pisceans are very hard to pin down. They don't like commitment. And this could make a lot of people angry with them. I've talked about that before. Yeah, they're very shy, very cautious people. They take their time when they get into a relationship. If they want a relationship, they take their time getting to know people. They're oftentimes, Mars and Pisceans are those ones that like to have polygamous relationships. I've said that with the Venus and Pisces. They like to have polygamous relationships. They like to, not be tied down, not be held down by people or things. They're very much about expression, freedom of expression, especially when it's in the Mars placement here, So another thing I would say about Mars and Pisces people with their career is they like to, I'd say careers that work for them are careers where they're able to be like creatively expressive, where their job does not hold them down. So a 9-to-5 would not sit well with these Mars and Piscean people. They need to, at least if it is a 9-to-5, I'd say like something where they're channeling their creative minds, their drive to be creative, their drive to be expressive, because again, Mars and Pisces are very expressive people. So I'd say too, when I think about a Mars and Pisces, I think about Billie Eilish. I've talked about Billie Eilish here on my channel before, but Billie Eilish has her Mars and Pisces. And oftentimes, if you watch Billie Eilish, she's very moody, very expressive in her moodiness. Her music comes through very dark. Again, these people love dark expression. They like to be dark. They like to not be tied down. Billie doesn't like being tied down. She doesn't like being held to any type of standard other than her own. Mars and Pisceans don't do well when it comes to being pressured into doing something, or pressured into going towards a certain career goal. They don't like that. They like to do what they want, when they want, and as they please, which reminds me so much of Billie Eilish. And again, Billie has her Mars and Pisces. Again, I always talk about her not like she doesn't like being told what to do. You know, Mars and Pisces do have that anger to them. And I do want to lead into the anger part. When Mars and Pisceans get mad, they either react one of two ways. They can either disappear and withdraw, disappear, not talk to you. Depends on what you did to anger them. Normally, like I just said, it's either you're making them feel incompetent, you know, because Mars and Pisces are so passive that people tend to want to bully them and push them around and treat them like they're a charity case, or like they need to be like watched at all times, because Mars and Pisces are, again, they're that sign. This is a placement where there's no boundaries, there's no limitations. Mars is a very fiery planet. It goes for its goals, it goes for what it wants. And when you put that with Pisces in the Mars planet, that makes for someone that is like fully expressive, fully does not think properly all the time, does not make the right decisions a lot of times. And you know, they don't like having to make decisions. They don't like people to make decisions for them. They can be very indecisive, especially when it comes to, you know, with being in a relationship, you know, or when it comes to being in their career. They have to do something that is motivating them. You know, this is another thing is, you know, they have low energy. They have very low energy. And because they have low energy, I've also read too, and I just picked up that, you know, the reason they have low energy is because they use a lot of their emotional intuitiveness into one thing. So when they are passionate about one thing, they will put all of that energy into that one thing, making it so that they don't really have energy for anything else, you know, which can be very frustrating for people that work with them, because they can seem very lazy. So these are probably the people that would show up late to work and just be like, oh, you know, whatever, you know. I'd say also too, this goes into the bedroom. These people don't really have a lot of stamina in the bedroom. They don't have a lot of stamina. I'm picking that up. I'm sorry, Mars and Pisces, if you do, what else is in your chart? But they will use all of their energy in one go, and that's it. You know what I mean? So these people, their challenge is learning how to have stamina. Learning stamina for Mars and Pisces is what I would say for you guys. Like when you're in the bedroom or when you're working, stamina. Learn to channel that energy. You know, learn to sustain that energy for long periods of time. So don't use all your energy in one go. Don't use so much of your emotions to fuel your ambition, right? And that's why I'm touching so much, guys, on Mars and Pisceans have to be really like passionate. They have to be passionate about what they're doing, and they have to be passionate about loving you, having sex with you. If a Mars and Pisces does not want to have sex with you, you can tell, because they're just like over it. You know, they're not really engaging, you know, with their emotions. Mars and Pisceans love to have emotional sex. You know, they like to know that their partner is being pleased. And I've had experience with a Mars and Pisces, but Mars and Pisces. I've had an experience with Mars and Pisces. So I personally know that this is how they are. You know, Mars and Pisces sexually cannot have sex with someone if they're not emotionally connected to them, if they don't find them emotionally attractive, I guess is what I mean, right? I guess if they don't find them attractive, or there's not that emotional connection, and they can't, you know, pick at you emotionally, they don't really want to have sex with you, you know? They're very, like I said, goofy too. They like to have fun. They don't like to keep things light, especially in the bedroom. They like to have fun in the bedroom. I mean, they can be serious at times. I've witnessed this. They can be serious at times. They can have points in, you know, in the middle of having sex with them where they're being serious, but they like they like goofy sex. They like sex where it's like leading up to it, like having fun, you know. They don't like, so I'd say role play for them would be really fun, for Mars and Pisces, because again, it's keeping it fun. Pisces energy is you're meant to have fun. You're meant to keep things light. You know, they don't like serious situations. They don't even like confrontation. You know, they hate confrontation. So I'd say for them, this is a big thing for how to get them turned on, is you got to keep it fun. You know, you got to crack jokes with them. You got to, you know, be emotionally giving towards them. Because again, what can make these people angry is that they do give up a lot. When they are in a relationship, they can sacrifice too much. They can give up a lot of themselves and a lot of their dreams and their goals and their aspirations. They can put it aside to please their person, you know, in whatever way possible, you know. Another sexy thing I would say about, I'm jumping around here, guys, and I apologize. I was supposed to go into their anger, but I want to stay on the sex too, because that is important for a Mars in Pisces, is the sex, you know? Again, these people are fun in the bedroom. They're so fun in the bedroom because they're those types that will turn into anything you want. Like, they'll dress up into anything you want. Because again, their ruling planet is about fantasies, and you know, it's Neptune. It's about fantasies, magic. So I make you guys sound corny, but you're not. But if you have like weird ass fantasies, these people are for you, because they're not going to judge you. They're not going to be like, okay, like that is fucking weird and I don't want to do that. Mars and Pisces are like, tell me what you want to do. Like, I'm so for it. Like, if you want me to dress up in a funny little sexy outfit, or if you want me to wear like a weird ass like outfit just to get you off, I'm all for it. Like, okay, like let's do it, you know? So it's so fun being in the bedroom with them, because they really enjoy pleasing their partner. This is where the self-sacrificing comes into play with them. Another thing I would say that they need to be mindful of is substance abuse, because again, Neptune rules illusions, escapism, well, more so escaping. So Mars and Pisces, let's go into, you know, what bothers them, what makes them sad or angry. So Mars and Pisces get really down on themselves. They can be their worst enemies, their own worst enemies. They can really take to heart the things that people say, and they'll absorb everything mean done to them, and they can withdraw into themselves and go towards substances to cope. They can tend to take it out on themselves, like I said, a lot. And most of the time when they do take it out on themselves, it's not just at themselves. Like, I've noticed with Pisces energy in general, when a Pisces is suffering, everyone in their life suffers, because no one knows how to help the Pisces, you know what I mean? So when Pisces has Mars here, Pisces Mars people, when they turn to substance abuse, when they turn to abuse of any kind, or they are getting abused, they will have the hardest time, guys, the hardest times leaving or putting that situation down, because one, they either feel they deserve it, they can pity themselves really bad, but they don't mean to. Some do. Some can pity themselves way too much, but they don't mean to. It's just that they usually will go through a lot of trauma in their life, or they'll go through so many transformative changes that are out of their grasp. Now, Pisces is pretty good about change, unlike Cancer and Scorpio, but Pisces will handle it like a champ more than Cancer and Scorpio. But Pisces will just, they're not the type that will be explosive with their anger. If they are, it's because they've really had the shit bottled up, or they also have fire in their chart, so that can make someone really angry. Or it depends on what aspects. Okay, guys, so if you have Mars aspect your Mercury, you know, conjunct your Mercury, I'm sorry, or your moon conjunct your Mars, you will be very angry of a person, you know what I mean? It just depends where the aspects are, you know, fall with your Mars, okay? So just because you have Mars in Pisces, it doesn't mean that you'll always handle the situations like this. But even if you become explosive, it will take you a minute to get there with Mars and Pisces, because Pisceans in general do not like conflict at all. So their first thing to do is, you guessed it, escape. They don't like dealing with that shit. They don't like dealing with having to want to fight someone. They're not like a fire Mars where they'll just like, they'll just woman up or man up and fight you. They're going to take it out on themselves. They're going to get quiet. They're going to shut down and hide or not talk to you for years or months, depending again what you did. If you bully them, if you make them feel like their dreams are not being heard or understood, if you're, you know, coming for their family, if you're coming from, you know, their dreams, and you're just treating them like they're imbeciles. They really get upset about that, but they handle it a lot differently than the other zodiac signs, I will say. So yeah, the first thing they will do is disappear. If that doesn't work and they have to be around you, like if they're in your family and they have to be around you, they'll be passive aggressive and they will just not talk to you and they will shut down completely. And when they do talk to you, they'll throw out really mean things. Things that are like, are you angry with me? Like, they're not the type that will just blow up on you and tell you you're fucking pissing me off. Again, what is aspecting their Mars, right? We have to look at that. But they can be vengeful. They can say really hurtful things. They can become aggressive with their words. They can become aggressive with how much they want to be bothered with you. They are those type that will remove themselves from a situation and they will not talk to you. If they can't talk to you or have a logical and emotional conversation with you, they will just disappear from you and they will not want to be bothered. They'll push you away, and they'll just bury themselves in their anger and their hurt, right? They will turn to substances, not all the time. They will turn to substances, some of them. They will become inwardly so they will self-sabotage, basically. Yeah, and if they're being walked on by others, it's another thing that becomes very hurtful and they hate. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like that? But Mars and Pisces tend to get this a lot. They will become walked on a lot because they're just so passive and they're so like, oh, everyone love each other, that people don't think to take them seriously. People don't think to care about their feelings, and they're always putting other people first, you know, other than themselves. They're putting everyone before themselves, and they can become resentful because of this, because they don't learn to set those boundaries. They have people wanting their attention at all times. They have people really trying to take advantage of them because these people are so caring, because these people are so giving and loving and sentimental, that people take that for granted. They really do. It's sad, you know. Guys, I want to talk about if a Mars and Pisces is mad at you. I want to incorporate that into this series. If these Mars placements are mad at you, or you know, the sun, if the sun in Pisces is mad or the Mars in Pisces is mad, what you can do, you know, maybe some things to get them to forgive you. And because you know, to get these people to forgive you, it can happen. Okay. So Pisces, remember, Pisces is water, so they're emotionally intuitive. So I would say the best thing to do is study them and understand what they want from you. That's the one way to get out of, to not be on their bad side. If you know how to talk to these people, if you know how to emotionally evoke them to speak to you, because these people will not talk when they're upset. These people will not, that you cannot push them. You have to let the Mars and Pisces come to you, or the Pisces come to you in their time. They have to come to you in their time. And when, you know, you just got to give them time. You know, it depends on, again, what you did, but you really want that Pisces in your life. It's important to give them space. So like I was saying, you have to let these people come to you in their time. These people cannot be pushed to talk to you. Again, this is all about time for them. They will, the more you push a Mars and Pisces, or a Pisces person, but Mars and Pisces, because that's what we're talking about. But the more you push a Mars and Pisces person, the more they will run. They don't like being bothered when they're upset, okay? Yeah, and they're very shy. They're very cautious people, you know? So it's important to respect that about them too. Don't make them open up when they're not ready. Don't push them to open up. Let them warm up to you, okay? And this includes when they're angry, you know? And when they are ready to talk to you, make sure you're understanding their side. Even if you don't agree with it, make sure you understand their side. You know, I can say personally, us Mars and water people are very sensitive, and we just want to be heard and understood. That's really what it comes down to, you know? So make sure that you're capable of doing that, and you're wanting to do that to keep this person in your life. And, you know, do nice things for them too. When they reach out, when they are there for you, be there for them as much as they are there for you. These people are so gentle and so sentimental, and they really love that. These people are very gentle humans. You know, they really just want that love and respect back as they give to other people. Now, there are darker Piscean Mars that can be very manipulative, mean-spirited, but this is because, you know, they were, like I just said, they have learned to be this way because of the things that were done to them, you know? So I would say just try to be there for them. And these are some things that piss them off. These are some ways that you can help them to not be angry with you, is by understanding what you did and coming to them. If they push you away, just let them push you away. I've definitely witnessed this with Piscean energy. I've dealt with this with Piscean energy. I know for me personally, with a Pisces, the harder I pushed, the more it pushed them away, you know. And I've learned to just let these people be. These people cannot stand ultimatums. They don't like when you tell them what to do or you give them an ultimatum. They like making decisions on their own, believe it or not, because they are so passive. People don't see this, but they are, when they want to do things in their time, and they don't want to be pushed or given an ultimatum to do it, right? So I hope this helped you guys. Some Mars placements I feel will go really well with Mars and Pisces is Mars in Virgo, Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Taurus, because I feel Earth helps water to become stable. Mars in Gemini, because Gemini allows the Mars in Pisces to do what they want. Mars in Sagittarius, same reason. I want to say Mars in Aquarius too, but Aquariuses can be a little bit too set and stubborn. So maybe not. Just depends, again, what's aspecting the Mars in Aquarius chart. If it aligns properly with the Mars in Pisces, you know, chart. There's a whole synastry thing that goes involved into all of this. But definitely, I'm not against, you know, just because I say these placements will go good with this placement does not mean you guys should not try it, right? You never know, because again, there's conjunctions, there's oppositions, there's trines, squares, you know, so much more that, you know, aspects in synastry in our charts. So yes, these are just suggestions of Mars energies that can go well with the Mars in Pisces. Okay guys, so we're moving right along to Mars in Cancer. So again, I have my notes for Mars in Cancer. I am a Mars in Cancer, so I relate a lot to this placement. Obviously, it's in my new chart. This shit, when I was learning, because I just learned about my Mars in Cancer placement, it was reading me to filth, like more than my Mars and Sag. The only thing I agreed with my Mars and Sag placement at the on my old chart is that I can't hold my anger, but that's actually not true. I can hold my anger pretty well. I do hold my anger until I've been confronted, which is a very, very Mars and Cancerian thing to do, or just Cancer energy. Cancers we can hold our anger until we are confronted. I feel like a Mars in Sagittarius or Sagittarian energy will still hold their anger even when they are upset, because they don't like dealing with people that are annoying to them. They will push you away. They will not fucking deal with you, and they'll keep it pushing, right? Well, I'm learning about my Mars in Cancer placement, and I'm noticing that we're very moody and we're very irritable, and we take on a lot of people's emotions and we absorb everyone's emotions around us, and we can read a room very easily, and because of that, it makes us very moody and irritable. So let's get started talking about Cancer. So what is ruled by Cancer? So basically, the moon rules Cancer, which is the mother of the zodiac. Cancer rules, and we will talk about that as I move into more in Mars and Cancer's energy. You know, Cancers are very nurturing, very protective. They bring everyone into their environment that, you know, earns it. And let's be real, as Cancers do like to test people. You know, it takes a lot for Cancers to open up. It's not easy to get us to open up, but when you stick with us and you work into our good graces and you want to be in our life, not that we're forcing you, when you want to be a part of our life, we welcome you with open arms eventually, and we just embrace you and engulf you in our love, and it can be so amazing being around that type of energy. It can be addicting as well, having someone that cares so much about you. I've noticed with me, with my Cancer energy in the past, I've definitely attracted people that, not everybody, but I've attracted people that I've had to nurture or help in some way, because Cancers are just natural. We're very empathic and we're natural healers. So we want to help everyone that we come in contact with. So, you know, because, you know, Cancer is ruled by the moon, which represents the mother of the zodiac, you know, the moon represents the mother in astrology, and it's very feminine. And it's empathic, it's intuitive, and mothers technically are known as being intuitive. You know, it's like they have and they have eyes in the back of their head. They always know what's going on around them. So Cancers will always know what's going on around them. You know, if you step into a Cancer's house, you know, they know what's going on in their house. Like, it bothers us if we don't know something that we should know, or we're not aware of something. It can really bother us, which I will talk about. But Mars and Cancers really just want a firm foundation wherever they are. They want a secure home, and they want to have a close-knit family, because Cancers rule the home. It rules family. We can tend to blow up with our family. We can tend to have issues with our family. Ironically enough, we can have issues with our family. We can have disputes and become estranged from our family. It can be very hard for a Cancer to be stable, because again, this rules how we grew up. It's the home. So it speaks on tradition, how we grew up, memories, nostalgia of when you were a child. So Cancers, if they don't have a stable household, you know, they will strive through life, which is the Mars placement, will make it their mission, will make it their goal to go for that in life. And I know me personally, I want that so bad. I love kids. You know, I want to have kids like really bad. It's always been in me to have children. I just would like to give birth to one child before I pass on this earth, and that's very Cancerian of me. We just don't feel complete until we have a child. And oftentimes I've noticed with Mars and Cancerians, or Cancer energy, is we'll attract children to us. Even if it's not our own child, we'll naturally be around people's kids, you know, or kids will love us. You know I have this problem. I was like, oh my God, like, as I, you know, started looking at my chart, my new chart, I'm like, no, like, this represents me so well. It's my moon placement and it's my Mars. And it makes so much sense that I don't feel complete, or, you know, I feel weird when I'm not around kids, you know? So even if, you know, you being a Mars in Cancer, you don't want kids, it's somewhere in the back of your psyche. I have read, and I feel too, it's somewhere in the back of our psyche if we don't want children. I know for me, it was never like I was always like, okay, well, if I have kids, fine, that's cool. But I love kids. Like, even if I was like nonchalant about myself having kids, I was like, I need to be around children. And I'm speaking about myself a lot, guys, because I have Cancer in my chart, so I relate. And I relate a lot more than I thought I would, you know what I mean? But we take in a lot, you know. Cancers are told to be the most psychic of the zodiac, and it's true. Like, I've been around Cancers. You know, I just notice I pick up on a lot. I can pick up on everything in my environment. I notice other Cancers I've come into contact with, they just pick up on things like naturally, and they don't know it. Maybe they don't know they're picking up on it, but they pick up on it. It's just so fascinating to watch other Cancers do this. Yeah, so that's a little bit about Mars and Cancer energy, but let's move into what we like sexually, right? I'm Erin Mutzi, baby. So what we like sexually, what Mars and Cancers like sexually, is to feel emotionally connected. We like to take care of people. So we oftentimes, this is not to take us for granted, but we like to be needed. We like to be wanted. Like, oh my God, Sade, I need you for this. Or, oh my God, Mars and Cancer, I need you for this. I need you to help me with this. I want you to be a part of my family. If you say that to us, if you invite us into your family, if you introduce us to your parents, I know it sounds weird considering sex, but again, Cancer rules the family, it rules the home. Come on. You know, you connect the dots, but you know, if we play house or something like that, or you move in, we're the type that will have our partner move in really fast. Once the sexual connection is there, we're like, oh my God, like, we're starting our life with you. We're going to do everything together. We're just going to be like a big happy family, because that's what we strive for in life. So that sexually turns us on. In the bedroom, if the sex is like really good, we can get really emotional and just like be clingy. We're very clingy, okay? Like, we're very clingy. We get really clingy. I'm airing my tea, guys. we can get really clingy when sex is involved because, you know, we don't just open up our bodies to just anyone. Mars and Cancers, we're very picky and we have standards that are so fucking high. Plus, I have my Venus in Capricorn, so I have standards that are just so fucking high. I thought it was bad when I was a Virgo rising, but oh my god, it's worse now because I'm a Venus in Capricorn with a Mars in Cancer. So it's like, it's worse. Like, for people have to check off all my boxes. And if they don't, I become very unsatisfied. Yeah, and I could just close off. And I've noticed with other Cancers, and I feel with Mars and Cancer energy, they can do that too, where they'll just like close off and not want to, you know, open up sexually or open up emotionally. If the sex is not, if the emotion is not there, we will not have sex. Like, we just won't do it. Yeah, we won't do it. We do like to do a lot of cutesy things. Like, we're the type that will like rose petals on the bed, you know, like Pisces. You know, we'll like really lavish, like thoughtful things. Not like, you know, materialism, but like the like grand thoughts, like the fact that you thought of me or you took me somewhere. Like nostalgia, that's where I'm getting at, I guess, too. Like nostalgia, like we like, for people, I know for me, what gets me turned on is like when, you know, someone's like, oh, I thought of you and I bought this for you, or I'm taking you somewhere romantic because you always said that you wanted to go there. I just love that. I like people that, I'm always there for other people, so I really like when someone not only needs me, I like that, but not to like the extent, like, you know, not to using me, but I like when they want to help me as much as I want to help them, you know. So I like surprises, like, oh, let me do this for you, let me, you know, pick you up here, let me take you out, you know, let me show you a good time, you're always showing me a good time, let me take care of you. I love that. I love wanting to, like, someone wanting to take care of me. I just think that is dumb, like, that I like that. Like, my Venus and Capricorn's like, bitch, no. But then my Mars and Cancer's like, oh, but that's so cute that they're trying, you know what I mean? Like, even if we push you away, even Mars and Cancers, even if we push that person away, when you're trying to help us, like, we do want it, you know what I mean? So we get off on that. We really like that. Also, too, I'd say another thing that turns Mars and Cancers on is when we bring you around our family and our family like loves you and really wants you to come around them. When you just naturally fit in with the family, we really like that. It's such a turn on for us when we're naturally wanted. When you naturally fit into our family and you're trying to be a part of our family and you actually really want to be there, we fucking love that shit. So some things that anger us, let's go, like, here we go. We don't like when our environment is threatened. We don't like when, no one really likes this, but Cancers, especially Cancer energy, don't like when you come for our family. We get really mad when you ask about our private life and we didn't say it was okay, when we don't know that you're talking about us. We can tend to do that ourselves. Like, we'll talk about examples of things and like talk about things, but we'll try not to disclose too much information, you know. But we don't want you going to our partner about us. We don't want you going to our family about us to ask for our number, or like, we don't like being intruded on. And it really pisses us off when we feel like we're being used or we're being taken advantage of. Like, we're someone that will help, you know, will help you, will be there for you, but don't take that for granted, okay? Like, we can tend to get, I was talking about this with Mars and Pisces, but Mars and Cancers can really get taken advantage of because we're just always willing to help and be there for people. So we tend to not see sometimes when we're getting taken advantage of. I'd say more so when we get involved with people, you know, when we really take people in. That's when I notice, for me, people will start using me. When it's not when I'm friends, like they're acquaintances, and it's not when, you know, they're kind of like my friends in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when someone is in our life, in our circle, Mars and Cancer energy are always getting used by their family, always getting used by their friends that they consider family or consider very close to them. You know, we're always getting used, even by our family, like I said. So yeah, that really hurts. That really pisses us off, because we're just like, what the fuck? Like, you're the one person I should be able to rely on. You're the people that are my safe haven, because Cancer energy looks for safety, looks for stability. It's a crab. Like, we go back into our shell and we, you know, we're like, oh, you know, don't talk to us. Like, we don't know you. Bye, bitch. You know, like, we can be that way. So yeah, some things like that I said really piss us off is when we get used by our family, our friends, because they mean a lot to us, you know? So how you know you've pissed a Cancer off, Mars and Cancer off, is when we become really passive aggressive. We can be very fucking passive aggressive. We can use our we can use our intuition to like blackmail you. I don't do this, but we can use it to blackmail you. We can use it to manipulate you. We can use it to get you to do what we want. We can just really become your worst nightmare, basically. We can really hoard in how you made us feel and just become so angry with you that we black out. Some Mars and Cancers can become aggressively violent. Violent, in other words. So yeah, that can be very hard to deal with when it comes to dealing with us. So guys, I had to charge my battery, so I am back to discuss more on Mars and Cancer. So basically, like I was saying, Mars and Cancers can become very violent and black out and not have a sense of what they're doing, because they've built so much, they've held on to this anger for so long of feeling taken advantage of and feeling used. And you know, a lot of times it's our fault, Mars and Cancers. We don't usually say when things are bothering us. Like, we'll bottle it up, like I said, and we'll hold it in until we can't anymore, and then we'll explode. I mean, a Mars and Cancer I can think about, guys, is Chris Brown. I always talk about Chris Brown when I refer to Mars and Cancers. Now, he's just one Mars and Cancer. There's other celebrities, of course, that have their Mars and Cancer, like Haley Kiyoko and Reese Witherspoon. Those are the ones that, without getting into too much of the celebrities for this video, that, you know, I picked up on, as well as looking it up, that have their Mars and Cancer. You know, very, very beautiful placement. I love having my Mars and Cancer, but if not channeled, you know, in a good manner, it can be really hard to deal with. And yeah, it can result into someone being abusive, you know. So some of our weaknesses that I've written down are that we can be emotionally manipulative. We can be moody and irritable. That's obvious. And we can be very unstable. And our energy drive can be very high and low, so unstable. And then we will tend to fight with our relatives, okay? And then some of our strengths are that we're good providers and homemakers. We're loyal to our family. We're caring and responsible. We're intuitive. We're empathic. We are good at defending the underdogs. And that is so true. I love defending people that can't fend for themselves. I remember I would watch movies. I still get this way. You know, when someone's getting bullied, I'll be like so mad and upset, and I'll just like want to jump through the screen and like help them and fight for them. I'll like want to jump through the screen and like help them and fight for them. I have grown up being like that. I always just thought it was because of my Sagittarius, but it's a Cancer thing too. I can see that. So guys, that was my spiel on Mars and Cancer. Some placements in Mars that I feel like would go with Mars and Cancer would be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, because they're very stable. Yeah, they just keep them grounded, you know. Mars and Cancer, we need to be grounded. We need to have a partner that keeps us stable, keeps us grounded. I wouldn't say the air, because unless it's Libra, Mars and Libra. And then for fire, I don't feel like that's a good match, because it's just too fiery and flighty unless it's Leo. Mars and Leo would be the only one I would say that could go with us. So yeah, Mars and Aries, too explosive. I've dealt with Mars and Arians, too explosive. Mars and Sagittarius, too indecisive with being in a relationship, can't commit, don't like that, you know. Now, not everyone's like this, what I just said. Okay, there's aspects and things that go into our chart and there's synastry to look at, but don't let anyone's Mars placement stop you from, you know, hooking up with them or being with them. Even though us Mars and Cancers, we can't just hook up with people. That's just not us, you know. But yeah, don't let anybody's Mars placement stop you from, you know, giving them a chance, okay? Okay guys, so now we're moving right along to Mars and Scorpio. Last but not least, of course, Mars and Scorpio. Y'all know that this is my favorite Mars placement. There's so much to talk about with Mars and Scorpio. I love all of the Mars placements equally, but Mars and Scorpio is one of my favorites, even though I've been fucked over by Mars and Scorpio people. Like, so many times I've been fucked over by them, but that doesn't stop my crazy ass from loving on them, right? So Mars and Scorpio, the zodiac sign, has 2 ruling planets. It's Pluto and Mars. Scorpio is, I'd say, more at home in Pluto than it is in Mars, because to me Pluto represents transformation, death, the occult, anything that's taboo, which is all about what Scorpio comes with. And also, you know, I'd say like wills, investments, inheritance, basically. Inheritance is what I mean. So Mars does co-rule Scorpio, but I like to say that Pluto rules Scorpio the most because I feel like things take time with Pluto. It is the farthest from the sun. It's cold, it's dark, you know. It takes the longest to get to Pluto, you know, than it would be to get to Mars, you know. So I feel like this fits Scorpio so well, because when you're a Scorpio, and I'm a Scorpio, and I've been around Scorpio energy, so I can attest to this, but Scorpios go through very hard shit, very, very hard shit. It takes a lot of their life to transform, and it takes a lot of time and dedication and, you know, breaking down of who they are as a person to become the person that they're meant to be. So a lot of times, because, you know, Scorpio is ruled by such a dark planet that talks about, you know, rape, and talks about things that are hush hush, you know, Scorpios go through some of the most, on top of Capricorn, but Scorpios go through the most traumatic shit. They get basically taken advantage of, and they get used as like, they get used like they're sex toys. They get used like they're sex objects. So, you know, we're gonna get into all that, but I want to first talk about the beautiful things about Scorpio, having your Mars in Scorpio, because there is a lot of beauty in this placement. I really like this placement. So one thing is, so the first thing I want to talk about is that Mars and Scorpios have stamina. They have really good stamina in all aspects that you can imagine. They are the most driven, I'd say, Mars placement. I feel like Mars, since Scorpio is ruled by Mars, this is right where it needs to be, you know. So this makes a person very driven, very, I want to say, tenacious, assertive, dominant. They like to be dominant. They get pleasure from being dominant, and they like being in control because they, again, have stamina. So with stamina comes control. With control comes stamina. They always are challenging themselves to do the impossible. They like to go against what is deemed challenging. So they'll usually in life take the harder route. When it comes to going for their goals in life, they will not take the shorter route. They will tend to take the longer route, and they will take the most difficult route, because that is where they get their power from, is accomplishing things that seem so out of reach. You can never tell a Mars and Scorpio that they can't achieve something. If you try to tell them, they will look at you like you're crazy. They will laugh in your face, and they'll just keep moving, and like, they'll be like, oh, don't believe me, just watch. Like Bruno Mars, I wouldn't be surprised if he had his Mars and Scorpio, but that is, you know, a Mars and Scorpio's motto, don't believe me, just watch. You know what I mean? Like, but although they are going for their goals, they are those types of people that will do it in private. They will go behind the scenes and do what they have to do to get the shit done. They're not going to be those types of people that are loud and proud about it, like a Mars and Leo, or Mars and Sag, or Mars and Aries. More so Mars and Leo, Mars and Aries. You know, they don't need to like show everybody and tell everybody what they're doing. They're those people that overnight, while everyone was sleeping, while everyone was doing their thing and slacking off, Mars and Scorpios were handling their business. They were getting shit done. They were moving in silence. They are like ninjas. Like, they don't like disclosing their personal business. They don't like disclosing what they have planned. They don't like telling what their goals are. I feel like they're the ones that despise talking about a New Year's resolution. Like, they're just like, you guys are not going to follow through with that anyway. So like, they're the ones laughing at people that have New Year's resolutions because they know that they're not going to follow through with it. Like, they're just like, okay, you guys are liars, you know, liars, 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 which is one thing we will talk about that Scorpio Mars cannot stand, is when people lie. They are very destructive though. You know, just because they're quiet and they handle their goals very quietly doesn't mean they're not destructive. These people live to break down things and like basically destroy it and watch it so it could rebuild, or like, they're the types of energies that have to break shit down so they can rebuild it. And if they can't rebuild something, it becomes very frustrating for them and they can become very stuck in, you know, this loop. They are always constantly needing to transform. You know, they are always being reborn, and they are always being different than they were the last time, and they are very hard to knock down. Mars and Scorpios have amazing stamina, like I keep saying, and they're so good at going for their goals. They're so good at keeping focus and having follow through, which is something the fire Mars don't have. You know, Mars and Scorpios have amazing follow through. They can wait things out for a long period of time. I mean, think of, you know, a jaguar. Think of a, like, you know, think of the wildlife cat family, like how they wait to get their prey. Like, that's how I imagine a Mars and Scorpio is. Like, they pounce when they're ready. They go when they're ready. They don't hold back, and they don't, when they are ready, they don't hold back, but they will wait and wait. These people have amazing waiting power. Like, they're so patient. Like, they can wait things out for long periods of time, and they like to get you when you least expect it. I mean, one thing I talked about was Taylor Swift when she struck out against Kanye and Kim. Now we're seeing all this shit come out about, you know, oh, you know, the whole time Taylor was telling the truth, but when she went into that long hibernation, after she'd been knocked down so much by Kanye and Kim, and just people calling, you know, that whole fiasco where they were calling her a snake and stuff. Well, we didn't see Taylor for like, I want to say like a year, 2 years almost, and then she came out of nowhere and released her Reputation album, and that is a Mars and Scorpio for you. Like, they will use something that is meant to harm them, meant to take them out. They will use that as their motivation to keep going. They will use that as a way to transform them. And like I said about Taylor, she used that whole thing as a way to make her image, to bring her into money, to bring her into success. That is how powerful Mars and Scorpios are. It is truly astounding being around them and seeing them transform. And I've talked about this before about Scorpios, but when someone has their Mars and Scorpio, it's truly astounding watching them be a better person and break out of the mold that they are so used to being in. But we will also talk about when they can't break out of that, and how it could just really get them down as a person, can really wear on their self-esteem, can really wear on their soul as a person. This is another placement like Pisces Mars and Cancer Mars. Scorpio Mars are healing, but they're healing in a different way. They're healing to the ones that are close to them, but they're not nurturing like a Mars and Cancer, and they're not empathetic like a Mars and Pisces. Mars and Scorpios are healers in the way that when they leave your life, and I've definitely witnessed this like so many times, but when a Mars and Scorpio leaves your life, like, one, you become very comfortable with them being there, but a Mars and Scorpio will point out all of the things that you need to work on within yourself. They bring to the surface, this is how they're healers, is that they'll bring to the surface things that you don't want to deal with about yourself, things that you don't like about yourself, and you shove down and you suppress. Well, Mars and Scorpios will pinpoint it, and they'll poke you and poke you and poke you and push buttons on you, basically, is what I'm saying, and force you to deal with your issues, force you to deal with the things that you're running from. You know, Scorpios are not good at this themselves, but I find that they naturally do this to people. They naturally bring out the not so good qualities that a person doesn't like about themselves, and they force them to deal with it. They force them to deal with their fears, their shadow side. And it makes sense because their ruling planet is Pluto, which talks about fear, death, you know, the darker things, the darker side of us, the darker side that, you know, our fears that we don't want to deal with, we don't want people to see. Well, Scorpios can pierce the veil, you know, like they can see through the truth of someone. They can see through the facade of someone. They can see the truth of someone and pull it out of them and force them to deal with it. You know, they can also bring out not so good sides of people where it causes someone to act violent. You know, I feel like this is another reason why Scorpio Mars deal with rape, because, you know, they are seen as a sexual object. You know, unfortunately, I don't see them that way, but, you know, they are seen as a sexual object, and because of that, people, it brings out pedophiles, it brings out weirdos, it brings out people, because again, it's the taboo, you know, so it's like the weirdos, the pedophiles, the, you know, just all of the dark shit that we don't want to deal with, that we fear of. Scorpio energy brings that out in people. So it's like they can turn even the most purest man or woman into someone that they don't even want to, that they're scared to be. You know, this is how powerful Mars and Scorpio's energy is. Is that it can make someone deal with their shadow, or bring someone's shadow side out, and before the person knows it, they're doing something they never thought they would do. So this can talk about drugs, rape, you know, selling your soul, selling your body. Yeah, this placement is very dark. It could get it's very dark, and it's dangerous having this placement at the same time. I do feel bad for people with this placement because it does make you prone to being raped when you're younger. A lot of people that have Mars and Scorpios, not everyone, okay guys, what are your aspects as well? If your Mars conjuncts Pluto and you have it in Scorpio, like that can be really hard to deal with. I've picked up on this before, and I've not read on people, but I don't want to air anyone's laundry out, but basically I've talked to people that have this placement that dealt with this, and I've known people that have dealt with this shit, you know what I mean, and have Mars and Scorpio. So it's very traumatizing. It can be very traumatizing to have this placement. You don't get off easy with this placement just because you embody the sex appeal, and because people want you. This could also warrant people that are intruding on you and are very invasive and not respectful of your privacy. I feel like these people with Mars and Scorpio can be very easily betrayed by people. You know, so like they'll get cheated on. You know, they'll get used, they'll be sold possibly into sex work. Maybe they're interested in going into sex work. They'll find themselves doing dark things that they never thought they would do, and this can include drugs, okay guys, because it's Pluto, it talks about dark shit, okay? So we talked about it with Pisces, but Mars and Scorpio goes deeper, because, you know, these things that the Mars and Scorpios go through are meant to transform them. Also, Mars and Scorpios may welcome this stuff. They may, not the rape, but Mars and Scorpios may welcome sex work, drugs, alcohol, basically addiction. is what Pluto can talk about, because it's fear. So yeah, that is a little bit about Mars and Scorpio. But these people are very driven. They get shit done. I mean, I think of Oprah Winfrey has her Mars and Scorpio. Taylor Swift has her Mars and Scorpio. These two women are very driven. Rachel McAdams, Mars and Scorpio. Some males that have their Mars and Scorpio. Kurt Cobain, he's a example of a Mars and Scorpio channeling their energy not so good. Taylor Swift doesn't channel her energy good. Oprah, I pick up that she was raped. Oprah Winfrey has her Mars and Scorpio, was raped. And Marilyn Manson has his Mars and Scorpio. I believe too, Russell Brand has his Mars and Scorpio. He dealt with heavy addictions. It took him a long time to get sober. These are just examples, guys, okay? Robert F. Kennedy, Mars and Scorpio. This energy could also be channeled very good to be president as well. I mean, Robert F. Kennedy wasn't president, but he was in office, you know. I mean, it helped him that John was in office, but you know, he wanted power. This is also a placement, as I said, that can want power, will do any fucking thing to get power. They can be very much tyrants and hard to deal with and just ruthless. This is the darker side of them. They can be very ruthless if this energy is not channeled well, or, you know, if it's not channeled right. They will seek power in whatever means. So they can be very abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive, mentally abusive. It's dark. This energy can be very dark, and it's hard to channel this energy right, because it is so powerful. It's so intense. This energy is, I'm tapping it, and it's so intense, guys. It's very intense. I feel, a lot of times I feel emotionally overwhelmed. I feel sexually overwhelmed. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Another thing, like I already touched on, is as I named these people, some of them, and people I've known in my life and people I've read on, have been drawn to being really irresponsible. They've made some really questionable decisions that they're not proud of, and they wish they could take it back, but they were in the heat of the moment. They were in the heat of passion, and they just had to do it. You know what I mean? These are the types of people that will stalk their exes, will obsess, because Scorpios naturally obsess as it is. Yeah, they'll stalk, they'll hack, they'll do things to get what they want, because they're information seekers as well. These people, when they want to find information out, they will find it out. They're natural investigators. These people could be like, work for the FBI. They could be like in crime, because Pluto deals with crime, again, crime, dark energy. So these people will be actually attracted to the dark web as well. Really dark shit, guys, really dark shit. But if these people want to get information, they will go out of their way. I've witnessed this personally. I've had this done to me where they will dig dirt to get information on you. They will find out what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're not in their life anymore or if you're in their life. They will dig dirt. They will find out what you're doing. They will find out who you're talking to. They're naturally curious as it is, but when they have intense feelings for you, they don't care. They will become so obsessive. Now, there is positive to them being obsessive, right? They can channel this energy into fitness. A lot of athletes have this placement. A lot of people in power have this placement. It can be channeled good, okay? It can be channeled wisely, but it takes them years to channel this energy wisely. Mars and Scorpios will go through so much to get to the person that they're supposed to become, and that's where the Phoenix placement that's where the Phoenix part of their life comes in, you know. Like I said, I love this placement. I absolutely adore this person that I fell in love with, someone with her Mars and Scorpio. I absolutely adore her to this day. I think she's beautiful, and she's sexy to me. I love this placement. I love it in women. I fell in love, like I said, with someone with her Mars and Scorpio, and I I love this placement. That's what I will say without giving too much away. But you know, this placement is very erotic. It's very erotic. It can bring out the best in you, and it can bring out the absolute worst in you. So let's talk about Mars and Scorpio when they're in the bedroom, because this, my friends, is you're in for a treat. If I've never slept with someone with their Mars and Scorpio. I wish it would have happened with the person I fell in love with, but it didn't, so I never knew. But that's okay. I still have my entire life, right, guys? I'm only 28. So Mars and Scorpio can really bring out the best in you in the bedroom. They are naturally freaks. They are very good at what they do, not because they're just sexy or that they just embody sex. These people will study how to have sex. They will study how to please you. They will study how to please, you know, anyone that they choose to give their bodies to. Now, it is a treat. It is an honor when a Mars and Scorpio gives their body to you, because they don't give their body to just anyone. This is something that they do not fucking do. Just because they embody sex, just because they are sexy by nature, or the way they sit. I noticed Mars and Scorpio sit very sexy. I've noticed that, and they have very, very intense eyes. I don't know who this is. Her name is Adrienne Curry. I was looking at her eyes, and like Rachel McAdams too. But anyway, Adrienne Curry has very sexy, intense eyes. Like, they just bring you in. Like, she doesn't have her, I don't know what her other placements are, but her Mars and Scorpio, I noticed with Mars and Scorpio people, and I've noticed it in someone I was really close with that I said that I fell in love with, she had very intense eyes. Like, her eyes just like brought me in. I was like, whoa, like like I've just noticed this in other women, men too. Men that have their Mars and Scorpio have very intense eyes. But Adrienne Curry has these sexy, sexy eyes. And then Taylor Swift has very sexy eyes. They are like cat eyes. Like, they can just like see into your soul. I've said this about Scorpio moons as well when I was talking about Lauren Haregi. But Rachel McAdams has a very intense blue eyes, I believe. Or green, hazel, whatever. You'll see them when I post her. But very intense eyes. Doesn't matter the color. Even if their eyes are dark. Like Kurt Cobain, I believe. Does he have dark eyes? Marilyn Manson, dark eyes, or wears dark contacts. Their eyes will pierce you. Their eyes will make you feel like they're literally ripping your soul open and looking at you as a person. And I'm a Scorpio, and I've been told that my eyes are very like my eyes will peer at you, like I'm looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, I've been told by my mom too, like, oh, your eyes, Sade. So anyway, that goes to say this. One of Mars and Scorpio's turn-ons is honestly eye contact. Like, they love when someone can look them in the fucking eyes and like be like, yeah, I like you, or be very like inviting in the bedroom, be very intense, can hold eye contact. These people love eye contact in the bedroom, and they're very good at what they do. Not all Mars and Scorpios, like I've talked about Taylor Swift, not all Mars and Scorpios know what they're doing, but most Mars and Scorpios you'll find that are in tune with their sexuality will know what they're doing. They will know how to know what turns you on. They know what you want. They study you. They study every aspect of you. They study the way your muscles move, the way your body moves, the way your face. They love to look at your facial expressions. They don't want you covering up your face. These people love to be in control in the bedroom. They love to be dominant. They love to be dominant in the bedroom. They don't like prudish people. They don't like people that can't keep up with them. They love to teach. Oh, you know who else has their Mars and Scorpio? Tyga. Yeah, I've talked about Tyga before. I just remembered Mars and Scorpio loves to teach. Love to teach in the bedroom. You know, love to do whatever you want as well. They like a challenge as well. They find it very arousing when you're like, oh, you can't have me, because they do this too. They get off on not being able to have someone, or they absolutely love to, oh my god, they love this so much. I know personally, I could speak on this. They love when you want them. Like, they love when you obsess over them. They just fucking love it. They love being obsessed over. Like, they love being someone's sexual fantasy. They love knowing that, or feeling, because this placement, guys, is very intuitive. And it's interesting, like, once you build a sexual connection with them, or an intimate connection with them, because like when you're in a Mars and Scorpio's life, it can be very addicting, because these people are really addicting, by the way. They're very addicting, especially their sex. Their sex is very addicting. It's like a drug. They're very addicting. I've said this before about myself. I went through this personally, like I said, and when my Mars and Scorpio left my life, I was like going through withdrawals. Like, I was going crazy. Like, they can make you crazy. Like, they can make you crazy. They can make you do crazy shit. They can make you act crazy. And like I said, I wasn't intimate with my Mars and Scorpio, but I was building a close connection, you know? And I literally went crazy, guys. I literally look back on that and I'm like, why the fuck did I act like that? That was so not me. But again, Mars and Scorpio, I'm being open, guys. I gotta be open with this shit, because I don't like being open, but I'm being open, okay? Like, I like being open to some degree, but not this open. But I'm gonna be open because I want to be relatable to you guys, you know? But I'm serious. Like, I literally almost went crazy. Like, I was like, oh my god, she's out of my life. Like, what? And if she knew I was talking about her, she'd love this. Like, she'd be like, duh. Like, you know, like, that's how they are. They love knowing that they have that fucking power over you. They want that fucking power over you. I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, bitch, I don't care if the Mars and Scorpio knows. I don't care. You can know. I don't care. You know, as long, because like, I'm a Mars and Cancer with a Scorpio sun, so I'm like, my love is real. Like, my love is so passionate, you know, and I want someone to know that I love them, but not to the point where they're calling me crazy. But it's happened. Okay, it's happened before. They can be very addicting, and their sex can be very addicting. And it can be the best sex you've ever had, like the best sex of your life. And they like to do anything in the bedroom. But what makes a Mars and Scorpio sex so good is that they just know, like, they intuitively pick up, like a Mars and Pisces, they intuitively pick up on what you want. But theirs is like 10 times more intense than Cancer and Pisces. Like, think of putting all of them together. You know, Pisces with Cancer with Scorpio in Mars. That's what fucking Scorpio feels like. Mars and Scorpio is like, they're literally fucking the shit out of you. Like, your life is like gonna be like changed forever. And I know this sounds crazy and I'm overly sexualizing them, because, you know, but every person I've spoken to that's had sex with a Mars and Scorpio says it's amazing. So I've just never heard a bad story about it. So I'm like, damn, you know. I would even go as far as to say that these people can pass as succubuses or incubuses, because one, they're very good at what they do, but also, you know, if they know that you're attracted to them, don't let them have that power over you if you don't want them to. Because if they know, they can be vampires. You know, they could be vampires in this way. They will just take and use you just to gain that ego boost. Because, like, everybody, all the zodiac signs have a way that they show their ego. Scorpio shows their ego by knowing that someone can't stop thinking about them, knowing that they were the best someone ever had, you know, like I said about Tyga with Kylie. Like, ugh, they love knowing that they're the best someone ever had. And they can also use this energy against you. These people can seek revenge. So even though they make people crazy, they can be crazy. Like, they can stalk you, they can be very vengeful, they can do and say things against you that will fuck you up, that will hurt you, because Scorpio seeks to find truth, you know, and they will rip open your soul and find the truth of who you are. And they have no problem telling you to your face, you know, that they don't mind showing you that mirror back at yourself, basically. But they are like vampires in this way, where you show them the mirror, they're gone. Like, they're disappearing. Like, there's no reflection, because they don't see. This is a perfect analogy. You know, Mars and Scorpios are like vampires. Like, they're good at reflecting a mirror back at someone else, but if you reflect the mirror at them, they can't see themselves. It's like, it takes them forever forever to see themselves, to see what they do to people, to see how they hurt people. A Mars and Scorpio can completely detach us. This is the dangerous part about them, is that they don't care. They don't fucking care how long you were in their life. They don't care how much fun you guys had. If you hurt them, oh my god, they are ruthless. They will take you out. They will make sure that you never fucking cross them again, just to hold, like, don't forget your place, you know. I made you, bitch, and I can break you just as fucking easily. I think of the scene, guys, in Jawbreaker. This is by one of my favorite movies, guys. I love Jawbreaker, but if you guys have ever seen that movie, this is a classic Mars and Scorpio scene, okay? Like, I love this scene where Courtney, played by Rose McGowan, sorry, can't say her last name, I'm struggling there, and then Fern, played by Judy Greer. I love the scene where, you know, Fern is getting too big for her britches, and she's coming up as the top dog, and, you know, Courtney basically made Fern who she is, so she says. I mean, I think Fern always had it in her, but I love the scene where she smashes her into the mirror and she's like, don't forget your place. I fucking made you, bitch. Like, she tells her to her, I fucking made you, bitch. Don't forget your place.
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly what you taught me.
I taught you to disrespect us?
You taught me to rule.
That's right. Rule, bitch. But don't forget who made you.
I'm sorry.
I made you, and I can break you just as easily.
Good idea. Kill me like you did Liz.
If I can insert that clip, I will, guys. I'm gonna try to insert that clip, but look at the way, look at her body language. Look at Courtney's body language. Look at to Fern. Like, that is a Mars and Scorpio's body language. And also a classic scene of a Mars and Scorpio reaction is Regina. When Regina's group turns against her after she's made them who she is, she loses her shit, you know. And hey guys, so while I was editing this video, I could not for the life of me remember what scene Regina said. I fucking made them, you know, like, I couldn't remember that scene. So if you guys know what scene I'm talking about, please put it in the comment section below, but I could not find it. So this other scene I'm about to play is a classic Mars and Scorpio scene when they want revenge. Okay, now we know that Regina puts her picture in the burn book, but it was all to set, you know, Lindsay Lohan's character up, Katie. So it was a perfect thought out plan that she thought of so quickly, you know, which, you know, Mars and Scorpios, when they are operating from a, you know, a vengeful place, they can respond this fast if they need to. So this is perfect. So I'm gonna just show this clip instead of the one I had in mind.
This girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust her. She is a fugly slut.
By a Mars and Scorpio. So like I made her. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. I made myself, you know. And I just love that fucking scene in Jawbreaker and these scenes. Also, another classic scene is Nancy, when the group's turning against her and she goes to each and every one of them and she says, I fucking took you in, I made you who you are, I did this for you, I did that for you. Because Mars and Scorpios, guys, I don't want to make them seem so evil, but they can be evil. But the reason they get so hurt is because their love is so deep, it's so profound, you know. It's nothing like you've ever felt before. Their sex is nothing you've ever experienced before. And it takes a lot for a Mars and Scorpio to let down their pride, let down their walls, let down their barriers to let people in. So they're only really close to their family. So when they do let you in, it hurts them like to their core. They'll never let you see this. They'll never let you see this. They'll get revenge on you. They'll be angry with you and you're like, why are you fucking doing this? But behind it is they're screaming because they're hurt, you know. They don't like They don't like being forgotten about. They hate being rejected. They have a god complex. They can have a god complex. I mean, I'm tapping Oprah. She kind of has a god complex. I'm not gonna lie. But they really do take people in, and it really hurts them. But Mars and Scorpios have to learn that it can't come with strings with them. They have to stop with that. Like, it cannot, their shit cannot come with strings. They have to do things from the goodness of their heart, right guys? So yeah, these people are into BDSM. They're into really crazy kinky shit. They love to have fun. They like to keep it in the bedroom. They'll do it in a car, you know what I mean? They are open to doing it outside. They are open to it, but how comfortable are they with you? And what I love about Mars and Scorpios, once they're committed, they are committed for life with you. Like, they're so committed. But these people, their strengths, I would say, are they're fighters. They will fight to their last dying breath for their family and for their loved one. You know, they'll fight for themselves. They are very sacrificing in that way, where they will sacrifice themselves instead of their family. Like, if their darker side is out and they're not evolved, then they may do it with their family. They may sacrifice their family. But these people are very, very controversial too. Like, they're always pushing the envelopes. They're always saying things that are on people's minds. They're those types of energies that will call the kettle black. They'll be like, oh, well, you did this and you did that, and why are you talking? Because you did this to Joe and Jim and Kelly, you know what I mean? Like, they're always saying things that will piss someone off. They're always pushing buttons. So Mars and Scorpio strengths are, guys, I'm looking at my computer because I didn't write this down, but they are psychologically strong and courageous, and they can seem very invincible. Their willpower is very strong. They are good at transforming and reinventing themselves, like I've already touched on. And they have powerful sexual charisma, and they possess very great powers of healing. They will sacrifice themselves to heal people if they are operating from their good energy and they really truly care about the people in their life. I've seen this done. And some Mars and Scorpio's weaknesses can be that they're ruthless and merciless fighters. They're very unforgiving. They're vengeful. Their other weaknesses is that they can exploit people. They're controlling, very controlling. They are intimidating, and they are reckless. They destroy in order to transform. And unfortunately, that includes people being in their life. They're not very good at holding on to people in their life very long. Yeah, until they're fully evolved, then they can start forming better bonds with people. Now I want to wrap this Mars and water up, and I want to talk about why, like, what anchors them, and if a Mars and Scorpio is mad at you, how you can get them to talk to you, or you know, how you can fix it. So what usually will piss a Mars and Scorpio off is when you're lying to their face, or you're lying about them, or you're talking about their business. Or if you're with the Mars and Scorpio, you're talking about your sex life, you're talking about the things you guys do in private, or you're just talking about your relationship, period. Like, these people are very private. They're super private. They don't like their business out there. They don't like showing their business to people. They don't like even really they don't like dropping breadcrumbs of their personal business. They don't like it. So yeah, those are some things that can really piss them off. They don't go for their family, don't come for their loved one. They're very protective people. They're very possessive people. Don't come for their partner. They will, oh, these people are so possessive. I mean, I like it, but they're very possessive over their friends, their family. What's theirs is theirs. Their loved one is their loved one. Don't look at them. Don't touch them. Don't even fantasize about their person. Like, they're gonna kill you. Like, and don't even think about standing up against them when it comes to revenge, okay? I'd say some things that can get them to they are not, let me just say that Mars and Scorpios, I've witnessed this, they're not going to react right away. They're not going to strike against you right away. They're going to, you know, they're going to get wounded. They're going to take the blows of what you do and what you say to them. They're going to take the blows, and then they're going to, unless they blow up on you, and then they'll leave. But that doesn't mean that they're done. They're going to blow up, possibly. Could go either way. What I find most Mars and Scorpios do is they'll wait, and then they'll get revenge on you. And when they hurt you, oh man, when that stinger comes out, oh Lord Jesus, they want that shit to hurt. They want it to kill you. Not enough to kill, not, you know, they're not gonna kill you all the way. They'll let you, you know, crawl on the ground and weep for and beg for mercy. But that was really intense what I said. They'll let you beg for mercy basically, but they're gonna make you finish the job basically. And it hurts. It hurts. I've witnessed this. It hurts when a Mars and Scorpio. I've survived a Mars and Scorpio's anger. Okay, I am still here, guys. I barely made it, but I'm still here. And you know what's even more beautiful is that I still love that Mars and Scorpio to this day. Like, I still care about this person to this day, and that is the greatest love that you can give them, honestly, is even when they, but ours was a different situation. Not all of everyone that's dealt with a Mars and Scorpio's, you know, story is like mine, but, you know, the best thing I've ever done towards my Mars and Scorpio is love her, you know, and yes, I haven't been perfect, but I still love her. She's not perfect. But I still love her, and I still send her light. And Mars and Scorpios only want to be loved, honestly. I know after everything I said, but that's all I know that the Mars and Scorpios in my life have ever wanted, was to be loved, you know? And I look back and I was like, yo, that relationship, that friendship, well, not relationship, but that friendship changed me. I'm very grateful for having a Mars and Scorpio in my life at the time that I did. And I'm proud of who I am because of what I've gone through with that Mars and Scorpio to this day. And, you know, so their anger is not all the way bad. It hurts, you know, these people will find your weak point and they will strike out against you, and they don't have any mercy. If they're really hurt. It really depends on how much you mean to them. I meant a lot to my person, but, you know, it hurt, but it hurt her too. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, it's gonna hurt. Just give them time. I would say to reach out if you can. They're gonna tell you that they don't want to talk to you. This was done to me. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to ever talk to you again. They're going to say really hurtful shit. I was hurtful too, but just tell them you love them if you really truly want the Mars and Scorpio back in your life, depending on what you did, of course, but just be honest with them. Don't lie to them. Don't act like you're innocent, you know? The times that I've gotten a Mars and Scorpio to forgive me was when I stepped to them honestly and I said, hey, I fucked up. I did this. I did that. I was not a good person. And I'm honestly sorry for that. And I know you may not want to talk to me. I know you may not ever want to see me again, but I love you and I care about you. They respect that. I'm a living example of how to talk to a Mars and Scorpio. Like, just be honest with them. Don't come at them with bullshit. They may not come to you about it. They may not talk to you about it. But the least you can do if you feel you're in the wrong, or if you're in the wrong, and you want them back in your life, the least you can do is step forward to them, be honest, be forthright, and say, I fucked up. And I know it's going to take you time to forgive me. Shit, it's taking my Mars and Scorpio time to forgive me. And I'm okay with that because I know in her time, when she's ready, she will talk to me. You know what I mean? And I say that with confidence, you know, because she knows I love her. So just just back off, respect them, respect their privacy. If you truly care about them, if you truly love them, give them time. With the Mars and water placements, you truly have to give us time, you know what I mean? And just own what you did. You know, don't beat around the bush, don't lie, don't act like you're innocent, don't lie to them, obviously. Again, don't lie. That's the main point here. And don't do something else that is going to make them even more angry. Just back off, leave them alone. They will come to you when they're ready. They will come to you. I promise you. I'm a living example of that. I'm a living example. So yeah, guys, that is my spiel on Mars and Scorpio. Some placements I say would go with Mars and Scorpio, Mars and Cancer, Mars and Pisces, Mars and Earth. Again, Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. and Mars and Libra. I would also say Mars and Libra. For the fire, I'd say Mars and Leo. Yeah, that's what I will say. So guys, this was my Mars and water. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really am having a good time so far talking about, I know I just started, but I love the Mars placement. It's, you know, it's beautiful to talk about these placements, you know, and we can all learn from we can all learn from them. We can all learn, you know, Mars and, like I said, Mars and Scorpio can be scary when they're angry, but if you show them that you're not scared of them, like I have, they're gonna respect you. If you take their blows and you still suck to them and you're like, hey, you know, you cut off my arm, but I'm still here, you know, still here, bitch, you didn't kill me, you know, they're like, damn, you still want me and I almost killed you? Like, and Mars in Cancer is just like, leave me alone, don't talk to me, just let me come to you in my own time. Like, I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hurt myself before I hurt you, but if you push me, I'm gonna hurt you. And Mars and Pisces is just like, I'm gone, disappearing, you know, like, I'm done, like, I don't want to talk about it, you know. But they all eventually come back, you know. They just have to have time. Now, if Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces are truly done with you, they have no issue cutting you off, no issue. And definitely like, I can attest to that. But if these Mars and water come back to you, just know it means something. You mean something to these people, you know. These people love very deeply, and their sex is very deep. They don't just take their sex lightly. I'd say more so Cancer and Scorpio, but Mars and Pisces can even have, you know, they even want that. They even want deep sex, you know. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on Mars and water. I will have the timestamps below if you would like to skip around. Like I said, I'm enjoying talking about the placement. To book a personal reading with me, please email me at shadestarottea@yahoo.com. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I really enjoy having you guys here on my channel, and I enjoy talking about zodiac signs on my channel. I love it. It's my passion. I hope you guys have a good day or night. Please stay safe. Stay kind to one another. Love and light, guys. Bye.